What is up, my little Deinos? Vepsis, your coach of the Helsinki Hydreigons, and we are here for the UPBA Season 4 semi-finals when we do go up against JayVee and his team being the Atlanta Victinis. He was somebody that we did go up against throughout this season in week 2, so throughout this season thus far in playoffs we have always gone up against somebody from my regular season schedule throughout this league, which kind of shows that how competitive the schedule was for myself, but I'm glad that I got to go up against the people that I did, and at least the regular season wise we did pretty well. And up until this point things have gone in our way. Now last week versus Addison I definitely got lucky in order to win that battle, but sometimes that's just how the dice rolls in Pokemon. And outside of getting lucky in that one instance versus the Stami, I was pretty happy how I played the late game, not necessarily how I played the early game. But either way, we move on from that, and hopefully we can have a strong casing yet again versus somebody that we did go up against before. Now, somewhat that this is gonna be a matchup that is gonna be a little different in regards to JayVee, because he has small changes of what he has on his roster compared to week 2, which did change just a little bit how I would approach the game in itself, but the team as a whole does have some similarities what I did back in week 2, and I'm hoping that while some of the things he will see coming from my end, those tools are just there to still work yet again like they did in week 2. But we are starting with the Reshiram with heavy duty boots with Blue Flare, Draco Meteor, Toxic and Roost. Toxic is there to cover the Vaporeon, which I find it to be very likely to come in this matchup and be his initial swap into Reshiram, unless he goes very hyper offensive, but I would expect at least one of those type of defensive pivots to come in this game, and getting Vaporeon on a timer with Toxic is the preferred way for me, and I didn't really see another way of try to power up Solo Beam or Sunny Day Solo Beam necessarily in the matchup, because he can aggressively play around if I get a base Sunny Day going to Noivern on that turn. So I think this should be still fine as a set, and I do have measures to deal with the Vaporeon later on. But before we go into that, we do go next to the Choice Scarf Nidoqueen with Shield Force. We're gonna be having the same 3 attacking moves as week 2, but we changed our hazards from Toxic Spikes to Stealth Rocks, cause in this matchup particularly you're gonna notice that I have already Reshiram with Toxic, and there's another member coming after this that packs Toxic. So because of that I didn't deem Toxic Spikes to be as necessary, whereas Crocs, as in Stealth Rocks as a hazard, will potentially be pretty useful to just get that 12% off things like Coco, Blaziken, Vaporeon, things like that, or even Lysarock Dust that he does now possess. So be able to have those, but still be able to have a strong Choice Scarf versus him that he's gonna see it coming, and this might be also my lead, and Noivern will confirm this item if he leads with that thing again. But this time around, because I've already showcased my hand, I'm not gonna be kinda keeping this in the back. He's gonna already kinda expect it to be potentially Scarf, knowing how it worked last time, so there's no need for me to be hiding that. This time around I would just expect if the Noivern is the lead, I'm gonna pressure it out by the information that I give to him that I'm Scarf for, even in regards to the fact that he knows that this was last time around. Ideally I can get up aggressive Stealth Rocks turn 1 and we can proceed from there. Then the next member of our team will be Primarina. This time around it's gonna be actually Wakamberry, because I noticed last time he liked to use Thunder Punch as his coverage to deal with Primarina. So I'm making this physically defensive with Scald, Moonblast, Aqua Jet and Toxic. We don't pack Flip Turn since Vaporeon does have Water Absorb, so being able to gain initiative would be always difficult with this thing. And other than that I wanted to have Toxic just in case if Vaporeon for some reason isn't on a timer, if I haven't been able to get that with Reshiram off for some reason, or the Vaporeon has Heal Bell, at least I have another way to get the Toxic on it with itself. And I didn't deem Energy Ball to be doing all that much to it, because we are not offensive ourselves with Primarina, and it's most likely to be fully special defensive for Reshiram as it is. So Toxic I think will be the most efficient way dealing with it. But now we do have another way to actually deal with the Vaporeon here, which is gonna be a Rotom-Mow, which is actually gonna be defensively invested with Rocky Helmet. Rocky Helmet is actually there for wearing down flip terms coming from Vaporeon ideally. And then we have Nasty Plot, Pain Split, Leaf Storm and Volt Switch. Leaf Storm is just there to make sure that Vaporeon I can actually break when I get to +2, and with Leaf Storms and I can do big damage to anything. But outside of that, this is there to just gain me initiative, because I don't see the Vaporeon staying on me too often whenever I get it in freely. And his ground type big Crocodile doesn't really want to take Leaf Storm. I'm pretty sure offensive Crocodile still always dies to a Leaf Storm coming from this thing, unless it's Assault Vest or Rindoberry, which Rindoberry I think is very unlikely that it's going to be. But either way, this should be a strong pivot for us and be able to kind of be a good way to deal with Vaporeon, but also be annoying for him otherwise to deal with as well going into this. Then we're gonna be bringing our defensive Buzzwole with a Payaba Berry, which is there for specifically for Psychic Fangs from Lysanroc, because I feel like Psychic Fangs would be the most likely coverage that he would have to hit both Buzzwole and the Nidoqueen at the same time. So off the chance it's a Sword Dance set with Life Orb Psychic Fangs, I wanted to have these options to have that berry to reducing the Psychic type attack from Lysanroc, and therefore I can take the hit at +2 relatively easy, and then I can Drain Punch and kill it back going from there. Ice Punch to hit the Noivern, Earthquake is there to hit both JIRACHI and the Tapu Koko as well on a switching if needed to, and Roost for the longevity. And then the final member of the team is going to be very similar Corviknight as last time, holding the Occaberry, somewhat special defensive. And we have Brave Bird, Iron Head, U-turn and Roost. Now I have Brave Bird to hit the Blaziken, Iron Head to hit the somewhat harder I guess on the Tapu Koko on a switching, but there were I wanted to have the Steel Stab as well, just in case to hit something like a Noivern without taking a recall. We have the U-turn for the initiative and Roost for the longevity, and then we have the pressure ability. And Occaberry is there to make sure that the first hit from the Noivern won't be doing all too much, but my spread should enable me to avoid a 2-hit KO from Noivern, unless it's a boosting item in itself. And Occaberry can help with the Blaziken, and that's gonna be pretty much it. And there we go, that's going to be the team in itself, and let's go and see how the battle is turning out. Alright, here we are with the battle with JayVee. May the best man win today, and hopefully, like, I'm in a position that's similar to last week, that if I win I'm gonna be really happy, because we would make to the finals then in that case. If we lose, well, I'm gonna come back to that if that happens in the, I guess on the post-battle talk, why I would be especially happy for JayVee winning this game. I'm not gonna go into that depth right now, like what's the reason for that, but regardless, let's have a fun battle, and hopefully no shenanigans will decide this game, and may the best player of today win then. And we see Blaziken, not surprising, the speed boost Blaziken as a threat. We see Noivern, as expected, Lysanroc, as expected, another thing to revenge Kyurem. We see Vaporeon, we do see JIRACHI this time around as well, and then we see Koko. Okay. In this instance, do I just stick with my plan? I think I do. With the Nidoqueen. And go from there. Because if he leads with Koko and Noivern, I can freely get up my Crocs turn 1. That could also mean that now that there's no Crocodile, JIRACHI is the rocker, which would make sense. I think the Lysanroc wants to be attacker. Well, let's go with that. Good luck and have fun yet again for JayVee, and I'm excited for this game in itself, but it's also been a long day for me because I had morning shift and it's a 10 PM my time. I had a chance to take a little nap before this. Well, it was kind of like a dog's nap, like I didn't really fall asleep, but regardless, let's get just focused and dial into it as we see Jacob, which is going to be the Lysanroc. Okay. So this is the lead. This could be a focus as lead if that's the case. I need to check how much a Psychic Fangs would do to this thing if it's Sash. Sash would not kill me, but I think I'm better off swapping out for now. And going to my Buzzwole. I don't wanna there's a chance that if he's Life Orb, he has to swap out himself. And if he swap out, he learns that I'm Choice Scout, but I'm gonna play it safe because this could be Sash. Okay, he is Psychic Fangs, but I can live this hit just fine, and let's see what kind of damage are you gonna be doing to me. 74, are you life up? You are not. This could be a SAS lead. On this case, I could just click Ice Punch freely. Or just Drain Punch, because I don't need this thing for anything else. Let's just Drain Punch and get some damage. As he goes for Crocs. This could be a Endeavor set, but I don't see myself needing this possible for anything else. So I'll just go for this. Just get some damage. I don't know if it lived on Focus as based on my SP bar, as it does. Okay, so we figure out that would be the case then. I expect him to just Endeavor, but off the chance he preserves this, I go for Ice Punch to hit the Noivern. But there's the Endeavor. I kind of figured I could have played around it a little differently, but I am okay with this extends, because this is one of the things that could have revenge killed my Reshiram and could have been a little annoying for me, but I think I'll be okay with this exchange. I will trade rocks ideally sooner than later with my Nidoqueen when I'm forcing something like Coco or Noivern out. But it does give a little breathing room for JIRACHI to be now something else. Because I thought that JIRACHI would be the rocker, because Lucian Rock to me looked like a big offensive threat. But clearly he has some other ideas for it that I need to be wary of. But like ideally Reshiram can deal with any kind of JIRACHI. As he does just go into the Noivern. This is probably there just to U-turn, so I'll just let this thing go down. I'll kick Ice Punch off the chance he clicks in accurate move, but I don't think that would be his play. As he just clicks U-turn, which is fine. So now we're gonna be just reposition ourselves. And go from there. And we just have to see what he goes into. If he goes into the Coco, that would probably let me get up my Crocs, which would be nice. But let's see. If he goes into Vaporeon, that gives me a very free Rotom-Mow. That can just Volt Switch freely. Like I could have, like in a realistic, like I could have maybe played around with that SAS set a little bit differently. If I click Ice Punch first. But I think this is still okay. He goes into the JIRACHI, which means that I'll just go into Reshiram as a response. So I won't be thinking too much with that. And I think for now I just want to attack it. Even though there's a Vaporeon. Because what is this thing gonna do to me? I could Toxic the Vaporeon to be fair. Like, what is this thing gonna do to me? I'll click Toxic thinking the Vaporeon comes in. I don't think he will stay in. Yeah. He goes into What Am I? Which is the Vaporeon. As we go for the Toxic and Perfect. So we covered that swapping nicely. Now his potential plays are Flip Turning or Toxicking. But I'm not sure if he has room to have both moves. He might be able to have room, but I go into my Rotom-Mow. It should be okay regardless of either of those two scenarios happening. If he would flip turn, it would invite the Blaziken, which would be a little annoying. So I would have to be wary of that. Well, let's go into our Rotom-Mow, which should cover the Toxic just fine. If he does go for it. Yep, he does go for the Toxic, which is probably better case scenario now thinking about if the Blaziken will come in for free. So I should be okay with this. And here is where I should be able to get my chance to go for a Volt Switch. Because it should be able to provide me a Momentum versus the JIRACHI or the Noivern that will come in, or even the Tapu Koko. So let's just click Volt Switch. I don't foresee him staying in. Okay, he does Protect, so he has Toxic Protect. He may not have Flip Turn then. He does. That does provide him way to wear me down just a little bit further. But I do have Pain Split that I can utilize later on in this kind of similar position. So I think I'm still fine. I'll go for the Volt Switch, still regardless. But let's see what he does. I don't think he would risk this thing so early that if I go for like a prediction with Leaf Storming thinking he would stay in. But he does go into the Noivern. He does get to see that I'm Rocky Helmet, but on this instance it won't matter all too much since he may not have Flip Turn any longer. But I get good damage on this Noivern. And this does give me Nidoqueen now. Which is gonna like scream to him that I'm Choice Scarf like last time, but that's kind of what I'm banking on. So I can get up my own Crocs here. Which will be exactly what I'll do. I'll get up my Crocs to even out the hazards. He does have Withdraw, thinking that I'm Choice Scarf. And goes into the Vaporeon, which is fine. Because this gives me the Stealth Rocks. Sorry that if I'm gonna be definitely cutting out here and there, because I am coughing a little bit. It might be the nervousness. Maybe it's because I should be drinking here and there. But I'm feeling a little dry when it comes to my throat today. But I'll go into Rotom-Mow. This Vaporeon might be pressured to click Wish at this point. Now that it's getting worn down, it's at 75%. Noivern is like 80% right now. He did double. Booming, which is the Noivern. Okay. So he is not boot, so this could be boosting item then. But this is my opportunity to kind of, I guess, scout for that as well. So let's go to Corviknight to scout the damage, but now I have to be ready to calc this. I'm gonna see what HP I'm end up with after Stealth Rocks. 205 to 180. Noivern. He does miss the Hurricane. Okay, that's unfortunate for him. He could be still Life Orb that I would have to worry about. At this point, I kind of want to just go for Brave Bird and hit this thing hard. Does Brave Bird manage to kill this Noivern potentially at this point? It would. So I'll go for the Brave Bird. If he goes for Flamethrower. As he does go for the Hurricane, misses again. I'm really sorry for that, JayVee. But I do go for the Brave Bird and I do snack out the Noivern. I feel like that may have been choice specs based on how he was like clicking buttons with it. But now I'm able to keep this thing healthy. Well, healthy regards to having its item still intact, which can be nice for Blaziken. Here comes the Coco. He did run Fire Punch last time around, so knowing that I can still potentially live a hit from the Blaziken. He would probably U-turn here, I would imagine. If I go into Reshiram on that, he could also be Calm Mindset, I suppose. Me going to Reshiram might be better, so I think I do that. It deals with the JIRACHI as well, so I don't get like Nidoqueen in. So let's go to Reshiram, because I can Toxic this thing right away and get it on a timer if it's a... Okay, it's a screen set. So now I go for a Toxic here. As he goes for a Discharge. And we land the Toxic. Perfect. At this point, I do think I wanna go into my Nidoqueen, cause I can spam Earth Power here, and I should not be too big of a set of fodder for the Blaziken. So I do just that. He does withdraw himself. And goes into the Vaporeon, okay. This is fair enough. I would not wanna stay in this turn. And the light screen is up. How do I wanna play around this? I think I go into my Rotom. Still regardless. I do have to watch out the setup plays again while the screen is up, but I do have Wakamberry on my... He does withdraw. Belly button. Which is the JIRACHI, okay. On this mon I might want to just Pain Split. Just to see what he does. I think I do that. Let's Pain Split for health. What does he do with this thing? Cosmic Power. Okay. So I'm able to wear down its HP with this. Which is pretty big. The electric field has been gone. I do have to now be a little wary of this thing, but I will Nasty Plot. He does keep Cosmic Power. I will keep Nasty Plotting. But I do have to watch out for stored power. Like, what point does it kill my JIRACHI? It's +2/+2 and stored power. Level 50. I am at 75%, or 75 HP I should say, so I'm at 48%. Unless he's special attack invested, I can live this hit. I think I go for the Volt Switch here. Protect. Stored power protect. Is he Wish on this? I'll go for Pain Split, because Pain Split would do more damage to it. Okay, stored power. So he has he's at +2 currently with Protect. Light Screen did wear off, so can my Reshiram kill this thing? I'm at 56. Oh, 56 should do. I think I have to use my Reshiram to break this. So that's what we'll do. So let's go for the Blue Flare. Protect. So I'm curious. I'll just go for it again. I don't see a reason to change my moves. I have to hit this thing hard enough so Scarf Nidoqueen revenges it. If it stays alive. But he does withdraw then, huh? So here comes the Vaporeon. We go for a Blue Flare. I don't know if I kill that thing. I will kill it with a Draco, but I don't know if I want to drop a Draco here. Where I could go into my Corviknight And Brave afterwards would do the job. I think I go to Corviknight, because I don't want this to be on timer, because this is important for JIRACHI. And I kinda see him clicking Toxic here, most likely. And I didn't wanna like drop a Draco and kill it, because then I would be -2. For his setup. Surf, okay. That should be okay. And it's getting worn down even further. I could roost to keep this thing healthy for Blaziken. He cannot really do anything to me anyways. I think I roost. So let's get up ourselves. So a little bit health, cause the Occaberry can help me out versus the Blaziken. As he does go for the Wish. As he's getting worn down. I'm gonna U-turn if he tries to Wish. Well, he's gonna get it on a JIRACHI if he so chooses to. But then I can go into my Reshiram and then ideally just do enough damage to the point that my Nidoqueen revenges it. But he's gonna keep this thing healthier, which is fine. But because it's on a timer, it doesn't really want to stay in here for too long. He might be swapping into the Koko here. Based on how he's getting worn down. But do I care about that all too much? If he stays in, he clicks Surf. So I could U-turn to keep up the pressure. I think I U-turn, I see the Koko coming in, getting up the screens. As it stays in, okay. But I think I'm okay going to Reshiram here. Which can take this Surf. And which is not a setup fodder for the other things in the back. I don't see him Toxicing here. Yeah, he clicks Surf. It's gonna do a decent amount of damage. But while I am in the field with this thing, I am not a setup fodder for the other stuff. And he is barely living. I think on this note I'll just click Blue Flare and finish this thing off. And there we go. We do finish the Vaporeon, which is good, because now the Koko and JIRACHI are kind of, you know, awkward position, and Blaziken would have to attack me. But versus the Blaziken, I probably would have to swap into Primarina. But he does go into the Koko, which is probably gonna get a base screen here. But I do wanna get myself healthier. So let's get up a Roost. For longevity. As I expect to him click light screen, yeah. The Store Power JIRACHI, which is probably weakness policy, is the one that I worry a little bit, but as long as Reshiram's hit into Nidoqueen's hit can finish it off, I can be in okay shape. But okay. Here I kinda see him clicking these shots. So I will go into my Nidoqueen. As he hard withdraws. Into the Blaziken. Okay. He has to take Crocs. Which means Stealth Rocks on this case. The electric terrain is up, so I think I need to attack this thing to get the aqua jet damage range. So I'll attack it. The light screen is definitely being annoying to me, which... He did this last time and maybe I should have brought defog or brick break. But I think it's still doable. JIRACHI, I should mark that it's around like 60% at this point. This thing is at like 88. Coco is like 75. Being modest about it. We do outpace. We get up a big earth power off. That should be aqua jet range. As he goes for blaze kick. Which is gonna hurt. As his life orb. And I don't think I wanna preserve this, right? No, because ideally this thing beats the JIRACHI. Well, then again, a Coco can be an issue. I think I'll keep this thing as a sack and go into the Primarina on this. As he goes for close combat. This is fine. And this thing should be as good as dead as I can aqua jet on this. Okay, Blaziken is dealt with. It's just the JIRACHI that is a little annoying. That I may have to immediately react on it. What is my Nidoqueen's HP if it's 27? I'm at 16%, I live Stealth Rock still. 2 times, thankfully. If it was 27. He goes into the Coco. I think I just may wanna stay in on this. I don't see this necessary for JIRACHI per se. Right? Nidoqueen is 27 HP. So I'm at 60%, so I can take Stealth Rocks twice. But not the 3rd time. I'll go for Scald, cause in Torrent it should do more. He goes for the Reflect as well. Okay. How many turns of light screen do you have still, buddy? 2. So if I can live 2 hits, we should be in a fine spot. I think I'll Toxic. Because I think I live 8 discharge, right? I still have time well enough. Coco. Discharge. Yeah, I live a discharge with this. So I think I Toxic. Just to wear out that light screen turn. Okay, he does Roost. So he has longevity on this thing. So I guess I have to kind of stall him out a little bit so the light screen would not be up. So he cannot touch a Nidoqueen at all. How many turns in are we? She has one more turn of light screen. So I could now Scald here. As he roost up again, okay. He's gonna try to get the maximum turns of light screen. He would have to light screen again. I'll Scald on this turn. was kind of expecting to have a not something else other than Rouge, so in theory I could have tried to go into Nidoqueen there. I could be in a torrent range if the JIRACHI tries to set up on me, so in that sense staying in and leaving this hit would be pretty good. So maybe I do stay in for that torrent Scald. Light screen. Okay. And now it does die. So this is where the fun begins with the JIRACHI, like what kind of set he is. Is he like mono stored power with it? Because I'm not in torrent, so I may have to hard into my Reshiram on this. He's at 60%. So I think we have to hard into Reshiram, just to make sure we are not the biggest setup fodder for it. And then we just go for blue flares. He does Cosmic Power right away. Now we just click blue flare. This is the one last Pokemon to get through, but this JIRACHI is kinda menacing. It might be able to pull it back for him. But let's see. He does go for the Wish. So he is probably then mono attacking. As I do go for the blue flare. Ideally we just take him out. We don't take him out. And it's the weakness policy. Okay. This is the issue. This might pull it back for him. Oh, it probably will. I don't know if I could have played that any differently, unless I really hard into Nidoqueen on expecting the Coco only have Roost. He does protect. So he's giving me turns to... If this JIRACHI is like fast and bulky, with my Reshiram being at full, stored power, he has +2 there. This level 50. He should not ideally kill me though. Unless he's heavily special attack invested as well. So I guess now he's just banking on just me getting worn down by the... Can I get a burn? I don't get a burn. Which is annoying. Because I would only have one blue flare left. If I drop a Draco, that's pretty bad. I think I have to go for it and hope that he goes for attack instead. He does go for the attack. We should live this. We should live this, yeah. Come on Reshiram. Come on Reshiram. There we go. There we go. We finish it off and we are up for the UPBA Season 4 Finals. That was very hectic at the end. I thought that may have pulled it back, but holy shit, we did it, man. Oh, we had one more blue flare in our pocket, and I had a funny feeling that he may have to go for that. He may have thought that that's a roll to kill me. And I have to wait and see afterwards. I'll probably put a Calc once I know his spread, but I was looking at if it's max HP and speedy JIRACHI, which he had to be because I'm timid myself, so there should have not been too much special attack investment for him to afford to take that hit. But holy shit, we are in finals. It's been a while that I've been making to finals. I have some rough patches in playoffs. Well, to be fair, when I have played in Wi-Fi scene now, I haven't had like multiple leagues going on at the same time, so I always only have that one crack at it to go all the way to the finals, unless I lose before then. So I don't really give myself too many opportunities in Wi-Fi scene to go at it, because I kind of like the idea of just having like one main Wi-Fi league going on at the time for my channel and just for myself, so I'm not too stressed about Pokemon in itself. I want to perform well when I'm here for you guys to see, but I don't want to stress about it off screen all the time, and that's all I think about every single day, especially during the summer now coming forward. But we have one more game to go, and then it's gonna be going up against either Amol or Pat Mac, who are the other side of this league. I am basically the winner of my conference, how this works, but now whether I play Amol or Pat Mac is going to be the other side of the finalist who was able to win the other side of, like, think about me being in the Eastern Conference in, like, I guess in sports terms. I'm gonna be facing, as an Eastern Conference champion, I'm gonna be playing the Western Conference champion, who is on this case either Pac-Mac or Amol. So I'm excited for that. I'm definitely gonna try my absolute best to bring the championship home, and that would be a nice way to close out and have a little summer break before the Champions of Gala will return for Season 2, which I'm really excited for. And this would be a nice way to send myself off before that season if we can win this one. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for finals versus either Padmac or Amol. And make sure to check out JayVee. Before I actually close, I did want to mention that whether I would have lost today, I would have been really happy for JayVee, because I know he's going through a very big personal thing that is not in my place to talk about. But if you have followed him on Twitter, you know exactly, or if you're like friend of his and know him well enough from like Prep City, for example, where he's open on what he's going through, I can relate that quite heavily, because the situation that he has going on is something that I had to deal with a long time ago when I was like early teenager years, when I was just to get to 18 age. And it was a very difficult thing that happened in my life back then, and it's something that he has to go through himself now. Not exactly the same way as it happened to me, but it has a lot of similarities to it, and I really feel for him. So make sure to check his side, send him some love. If you do have a Twitter and you end up seeing JayVee's Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. And if you do see that tweet about this topic, make sure to send him some love there too. And I really like the guy. I'm now in Prep City, which is like his front offense, which is basically a community. I'm still kind of newbie for his community, but the more and more I got my time being there, it's a really enjoyable community. So I'm really grateful that he let me into the Prep City, be hanging out with the other people, and it's kind of like due to Aquarius' connections that I'm able to kind of slide into that community as well and get to know some new faces. So thank you for him for that. But until the finals, thank you for watching. I'm gonna be closing out here. Stay tuned for that and subscribe if you're new. But I'm gonna be see you guys later.